Hello, guys. Welcome to another episode on the show, Hidden Secrets in Books. And you guys know I only bring special guests to my show, uh, the top 1% of guests to my show. So today's guest is James Hand. James, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
All right, James, I would like you to introduce yourself to my audience.
Right. My name's James Hand, and I'm an author of a series. My seventh book will be released later this year. I've done 10 books in the series. They're called the Beth Duncan series. The first book is called Louina, and the one to be released soon will be called Traffickers, Uni and Traffickers.
All right, thank you so much, James. So, let's talk about your books, the one you have released and the one to be released.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the books started, actually funny, they started during COVID, when people were caught at home. And I had done a number of films. One of my short films had done quite well, had been accepted in Cannes. And I had these old film scripts just sitting around. And I thought, well, I'm not going to make these. And as people know, production companies buy the rights to a book, and then they get someone to draw up a screenplay out of it. And I had the screenplay. So I thought, oh, why don't I just extend it into a book? Got time on my hands. So I did. I took that's the first book, Louina. And once I finished that, after the final confrontation at the end of the book, I thought, well, what happens to my heroine, my famous girl? What happens to her? So then I started the second book, and it went on from there. And each book leads on to the next one. It's a series.
All right, thank you so much, James. So, moving on, can you give us a little brief history about why you decided to write your book?
Well, I mean, I've been writing songs, music, and I had done short film scripts. I actually did a major, which didn't do very well, but that's because I handed it over to other people. And whenever you hand your material over to other people, they change it, and they didn't get the feel of the thing. Anyway, so I thought, well, I'm not going to trust people anymore. I'll do it myself. And so I decided, instead of doing film scores, do screenplays, that is. I thought I'll write a book instead. And that's how it started. So I looked at my old screenplay and said, right, this will start here. Louina, good place to start. And I took that screenplay and then I extended it. And that's how it started.
Okay, so you have built a career across music, filmmaking, and writing.
Yeah.
What inspired your creative journey?
I didn't quite catch that. What's my what?
You have built a career across music, filmmaking, and writing. What inspired your creative journey?
Well, I played in bands since I was probably about 18. I got my first band, and I still play in a band. We do covers these days, but I went through various bands where we did originals and we did some recordings and all that sort of thing. Tried to get a record contract, missed out, like thousands of bands do miss out. I'm gathering you're in America. In America, it's easier to get small recordings out. In Australia, difficult because you haven't got as many distributors. It's a tighter market. Anyway, I played in bands and ended up playing covers, what we call covers, other people's songs. And that was good. And I wrote some songs. I like writing. And I wrote some songs. And one song won a major competition. And that was pleasing. And then after writing songs, and there was no need to write more original material. So I decided to move on to the books. So once I finished, sort of slowed down the writing of songs, I moved on to the writing of the books.
All right. So how has teaching music for more than 30 years influenced your own creativity?
Well, writing, I was a music teacher for many years, 20 years more, 20, 30 years. I was a music teacher. And teaching music's quite good fun, actually. Taking people who know either nothing or very little and leading them along the path. So in that regard, it's quite rewarding. Many of the people I taught have gone on in music and are doing quite well. Music's great. Writing songs, it's very therapeutic. You write something, it's something that's never been done before. If you write a song, it's new to the outside world. And that gives you a real good feel. especially if on the next day, when you read it back or play it back, you think, oh, yeah, that works. I like that. If it works on the second or third listen and you think, yeah, I'm happy, then great. It's good. Then you go think about recording it. I've got a home studio. I'm sitting in my studio at the moment and I can put things out. So it's good buzz. And from there, you then move into books. Or I actually moved into screenplays, short films. From short films, I moved into books.
Okay, so what did winning Triple J unearthed with trying to get to you mean for your career?
My career,
Yes.
well, I was a music teacher. I started as a general teacher, and then, well, actually, it's a bit of a joke. I was playing in bands, and we thought we were going to be successful, and we thought we were going to be bits of stars. And at the last moment, the contract didn't eventuate, and all of a sudden we realised it ain't going to happen. And so we gradually drifted off into other areas. That's the band people. And I moved off and went back to school and became qualified as a teacher and taught general classroom for a little while and then moved into a specialist area, which was a music specialist, which I enjoyed immensely. And it was really good and had lots. I did that for 25 years.
All right. So tell us about Beth Duncan series and what can readers expect from those novels?
Well, the Beth Duncan series is obviously based around Beth Duncan, who is a young girl who is orphaned at the age of 15, has to live with an aged uncle in a place called Tasmania. You wouldn't know that, but Tasmania is a small island south of Australia. It's part of Australia. It's a state of Australia, but it is isolated by the water. Bass Strait, actually. So it's a little bit of a sleepy state, and it's a bit colder, and it's in the mountains. And so Beth has to live with this aged uncle. And basically the story is of standing up for yourself. She's 15, and she goes and lives in this small town with small town mentality, and the local hoons have it in for her because she becomes a friend of the local dance teacher who teaches young ones, and she helps out. And they become the target for these local hoons, and it builds in pressure. The pressure builds up, and eventually the girls have to learn. That's her and the other teacher have to learn. They're going to have to defend themselves because the hoons are coming for them, and so they put themselves in the hands of their friends and learn how to defend themselves. A bit like a Rocky film, really. And at the end, they know a confrontation is coming. And they have to stand up for themselves, and they do. And I guess in a way, it's all about not female empowerment, but girls especially standing up for themselves and showing strength of character. It's a development of strength of character. That's basically the series. And as each book moves on, she carries on her defense training, and she can really look after herself, I can tell you. And she has a very positive outlook to life and attacking new things at university. And all the way through, she's a positive example of a young girl who's in control of her life, very much so. And when hurdles come up, she can look after herself. There's no problems there, physically, that is, with her defense training. So, yeah, the series rolls on as she gets involved with the Secret Service and various other things. And, it's quite an exciting run.
All right. So what advice would you give aspiring artists who want to build a creative career across multiple disciplines?
Well, the thing is, I'm published through Amazon. Lots of people are, but it does cost a little bit of money. To try and get picked up, once you've written a book, that's only half the battle. In fact, that's only probably about 20% of the battle. The rest of the battle is getting distributed, and that's the hard part. Finding a distributor who will take you on and who believes in your book and will take you on and publish you. Most writers can't get distributed unless they self-publish or they pay a bit of money and go through some publisher who is going to take their money and promises all sorts of things. So to aspiring writers, I would say do it, but do it with your eyes open that the hard part is getting published. It's easy to write a book. Get it published is not so easy. I spoke to one person, a publisher, and they said they get up to 3,000 copies or new manuscripts every year. And of those, they choose 4 or 5. So that's what you're dealing with. 3,000 or more manuscripts coming into the publisher, and they choose 3, 4, or 5. That's all. So it's a hard road to get published.
Right. So, if listeners remember just one lesson from your journey, what would you hope it is?
Well, obviously, I would like to be on the shelves of the big stores, the big distributing stores that have all the books on the shelves. You want to be on the shelf. If you're on the shelf, people can see you. And if the front page is enticing, then they might pick it up, turn the book over, look at the back page, see a synopsis of what the story's about and think, yeah, I'd like to read this. That's what you would like. The second part, which we're looking at, is because mine is a series, is a possibility of that a major production company might be interested. So people like Netflix and Paramount Plus and all those sort of places, they're always looking for a series. So we'll try and speak to them through various agents and see if there's any possibility they might be interested. Don't know. We'll give it a try and we'll find out.
All right. So, is there one question you wish I would have asked you that I did not ask you?
Is there what? I didn't catch all that. Sorry.
Is there one question you wish I would have asked you that I did not ask you?
Oh, not really. You covered it all. Probably is the Beth Duncan. Maybe you should. What's the whole series of Beth Duncan about? Beth Duncan moves from a schoolgirl who has to learn to defend herself to the second book where she gets into university in a journalist course, and then she has continued her defence training at home. She gets into university. She gets a job as a small part-time reporter for a local newspaper. That leads into investigative work, and she has various investigations done at university where her defence training comes to the fore because she's in difficult situations. Leads on to the next book, which is at the end of the third book, she gets drawn into what we call ASIO, which is your Secret Service. Gets drawn into the Secret Service. They ask her to help. The fourth book, she gets her first Secret Service job with another fellow. And then after that, she gets other jobs, Secret Service jobs, human trafficking, breaking up the drug trade in London, all sorts of things. And she gets these jobs for the Secret Service while still a university student. And she gets into some major scraps. So it's an exciting read as the journey goes on. It's an exciting read to see what happens to her and what will happen next. I think the books move with a good flow. I think it's a good read.
All right, James. Thank you so much for coming to my show. Thank you for
That's all right.
sharing your perspective and your insight with me and audience, and for talking about your book as well. So, for those who would like to connect with you and get your book, how can they do that?
The book's available. Just go to Amazon, type in James Hand, author, and the books will come up and you can order them through Amazon. Just go to Amazon Books and type in James Hand. And the first book is Luina. The second book is The Fit Girl. Third book is The Fit Girl Investigates. Fourth girl is Secret Girl. And the fifth book is London Bound. And the sixth book is Two Daughters. And the seventh one coming up will be called Uni. It's not out yet. It'll be called Uni and Traffickers. It's to do with human trafficking. And that's what's out so far. You can get them through Amazon Books.
Okay, thank you so much once again. Thank you for coming to my show and for sharing your insight and your perspective with me.
That's all right. Glad to be of service.
Right. Thank you so much.
Okay. Cheers.